Anyway, just to let you know again, I am Rola, or you can call me Mark. Either of the two. You can either call me Shiel. So I have been working as customer service representative, or technically taga BPO po ako for 15 years now. So 15 years, siguro nag-start ako mag-work. I was like 17, like 3 months short before ako mag-18. I came from the province, nagbakasyon ako dito sa Manila, and I ended up applying kasi sinamahan ko yung kuya ko mag-apply sa isang job fair, and dun ko to nakuha, yung BPO. That time, hindi pa siya ganun kasikat. Lahat ng BPO is all about outbound selling. Tas kasi ngayon naging inbound na, nagkaroon ng chat, nagkaroon ng email. Pero before, that was just outbound. So I started 3 months short before 18 years old. Tapos, the rest is history. I stayed in the call center. Siguro naging palipat-lipat ako company. I normally stay like 3 to 5 years every company that I've been with. So far, I've only been like with 4 companies. The other company closed, so 2 years lang ako doon. And yeah, the latest company that I was with, I got promoted as a team leader. That was like my third year there. Tapos, na-promote ako na change leader, which is like team leader development coach. So, I coaches like TL, yung manager din minsan. So, yung mga ganon, development ng mga leaders wherein before development ng agent yung ginagawa ko. And I got promoted as an operations manager. Then, siguro after 4 5 months as an operations manager, nag-close kasi yung account kasi it was seasonal. And there, this is the time na nag-transition ako as a VA. So, I transitioned into VA job. That was like September or October last year. So, I got laid off for 2 months while waiting for another operations manager post. Na-laid off ako. So, what I did is, nag-aral ako. Kasi you can't really just wait, do nothing. Kasi your leave credits is only so much. Siguro leave credits ko doon was only good for 2 weeks, which is like one pay. After that, I'm not gonna get any pay anymore. So, nag-aral ako. I searched for courses. I went to YouTube University para mag-aral, and dito ko nalaman na yung VA na akala ko kasi dati scam siya. So I don't have anything against others, pero before kasi syempre if you've been working sa corporate, hindi mo talaga sure na may industry talaga for VA. So after that, parang December, I got hired as a VA. Ang dami ko in-applyan actually. Para December, I got hired. Tapos, after 2 weeks of training, um, after 2 weeks of training, I got promoted as a support. So, ito ay isang agency. And I got promoted because the skills that I have are basically for support. Yun din kasi yung inaral ko. I did not learn much of the basic VA stuff and skills. Inaral ko talaga yung skills na high-paying skills. And I'll talk about that then as well. But yes, I have been a VA for over 6 months now. So congratulations, 6 months now. And kaya ako nagsimula ng channel na to is because I have been seeing a lot of people asking how interested whenever I post like a job application or a job opening. Ganun lagi. Pero other than that, they don't really like try to look into paano ba maging VA. Meron din is yung ang dami daw nilang courses na nakuha, nag-aaral sila ng basic VA for 3 months, pero hanggang ngayon wala pa rin client. So yung mga ganitong bagay. I'm not gonna say I am a full-fledged expert VA na alam na lahat. Kasi I'm not like Bloody Mary or I'm not like yung mga content creators na VA din. Because I'm not. Pero I hope na this video, these things na I'm doing, yung nire-record ko, will at least help you. Okay? Because for the past 6 months, I can tell you na may future yung VA. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's start discussing what's a VA all about. Okay, so let's start discussing about the rise of virtual assistant. So this is technically a comprehensive guide na ginawa ko para ma-discuss natin yung virtual assistant, yung history niya, yung reasons bakit ang meron siyang rapid growth, ang bilis ng growth niya, at the same time, yung essential information na kailangan yung malaman if you really wanted to work as a virtual assistant. So, understanding the virtual assistant role. So, a virtual assistant is a remote professional offering administrative, technical, or creative support to businesses, entrepreneurs, and other professionals. They handle tasks traditionally managed by in-house staff, providing crucial flexibility and efficiency. So, sabi dito, virtual assistant technically is someone na nag-work remotely. So, anything na you do remotely, ang tawag sa'yo virtual assistant from the word virtual itself. Wala ka sa actual place kung saan yung office nyo, pero you're still able to provide output and help the business. So, for this, ano nga ba yung common task ng virtual assistant? So, common tasks niya includes email and calendar management, customer service, data entry and research, social media management, bookkeepings, and invoicing. So, sino na dito nakapag-work from home? If you're able to work from home dahil sa COVID, you can actually call yourself as a virtual assistant or a virtual worker. Kasi wala ka dun sa office kung saan yung work mo. Pero, hindi siya virtual assistant role kasi kung ako last COVID, when the COVID strikes, pinag-work from home kami. So, I was an agent handling technical support calls for a company in the US that provides internet service. So, pag wala silang connection, pag meron silang issue, hindi nag-work, tumatawag sila and I help fix the issue. That is a virtual work. Pero, I was a customer service representative. My work is technical support. And I have a company na nagre-reportan. Now, virtual assistant is different kasi even though you're working virtually, you don't work for a specific company. You work with businesses. So, for example, ako ang may-ari ng McDo. Yung McDo, let's say, kailangan nila ng mga taong sasagot sa mga chats. Someone na nag-order online, if you're ordering sa app or sa website nila, for example, syempre hindi naman pwedeng sumagot doon yung staff sa mga stores kasi yung nasa stores, they are serving people na pumupunta sa store. Pero, paano na lang yung mo-order online? Paano yun makukuha ng store? So, that's a virtual assistant job. Yung isang virtual assistant, normally, if an order comes in, they're the one who takes care of the orders. Ipopost nila yan doon sa, let's say, sa nearest branch or store na malapit sa'yo if in case nung umorder ka, hindi mo sinelect yon. Then, the order gets processed by the store. Then, a delivery person takes the order and deliver it to you. So, a virtual assistant actually works with the order taking. Pag McDo lang yon. So, for example, if you are working in a company, for example, I'm not sure, the most recent order na I did was for Ermitanyo store. Ang sarap na inyong smoked beef. So, what I did is pumunta ako online, Nag-chat ako sa kanila, they asked me for my location, ano ba yung mga orders ko, yung mga ganon. So someone is managing that kind of order taking. Either the people that Ermitanyo hires or iba. Sa US kasi, wala kasi ganun masyado. They have someone who will take care of it tapos fino-forward na lang sa kanila. Let's say I have an Airbnb. Kung ako may-ari ng Airbnb, let's say I have 50 units in different locations. Di naman pwedeng mag-hire ako ng isang tao para bantayan yung unit na yon tapos pag may umupa, tinitake ko. So, normally, this Airbnb people would hire a virtual assistant, a customer service type of virtual assistant. They would have like a CRM na nakalink doon lahat ng 50 units that they have. If someone inquires about one unit, automatically mapupunta yun sa task nila, then they will answer. Then they will help the people book. They will help the people with the entry as well as the payment. So, this type of roles, hindi ko syempre kayang gawin ng isang business owner. Because business owners will have to focus on other aspects of their business. So that's the reason why they hire virtual assistant and customer service type of virtual assistant handles chat, email, phone are one of the most hired type of VA. Yung email and calendar management naman, these are normally for CEOs, for owners and managers na hindi na talaga nila kayang i-check yung email. Sa Pilipinas kasi hindi tayo masyadong mahilig mag-check ng email. Pero if I ask you to check your email right now, pag pumunta ka let's say ng Gmail mo, you would notice you have let's say more than 1,000 or 2,000 emails. At alam mo ba kung saan nanggaling yung mga email na yan? Those email normally comes from Shopee, TikTok, o yung mga website na pinuntahan mo na nag-subscribe ka na hindi mo alam. And these people will send you emails for promotion, for sales, kaya dumadami yung email mo. As business owners, they actually get those type of emails as well, plus a lot more of spams. Kasi kung ako yung may-ari ng, let's say, construction company, syempre makakakuha ko ng mga email sa email marketer na, oh, we will advertise you. We will help you get more clients if you hire us. Yung mga ganong types of email. So, dumadami siya. And as a business owner, hindi nila kaya magbasa ng emails one by one. Sa dami nun, it would take them more than 1 hour, 3 or 4 hours even, just to check all those emails. Ay hindi nila kaya yon. Time is money sa mga business owners, especially sa US. Hindi nila kaya mag-spend ng oras for things na kaya naman nilang ibigay sa iba and they can just pay minimal. And that is what email and calendar management is all about. So I will show you something. So basically in email, you actually have a way to, let's say, put labels in them. So if you're a VA, one of the things that you do is to label the emails that the customers or the owners receive as urgent, something that they can actually check, or socials for all the types of social media, those kind of things. We will have another training or another video for email and calendar management. If you can't wait for my video, you can actually look into email and calendar management sa YouTube University. A lot of VA coaches already discussed that kasi again, common task siya. So that's something that you have to know. When I started as a VA, I really had to learn that as well kasi hindi mo alamin, baka mamaya yung client mo will ask you to do those tasks. Ang pangit naman kung aaralin mo siya right there and then. Though there's no problem in doing that, mas maganda kasi yung alam mo na siya. So, that is for the email and calendar management, customer service. Yung data entry and research, they will just normally give you, let's say, 5 or 6 Excel sheets with a lot of data. You just have to basically segregate that. That's a type of data entry. And for research, for example, for real estate, normally they would ask you to input business or at least homes sa specific area na merong 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. For example, depende kung ano gusto nyo pa-research, and you kind of compile it in an Excel sheet. That's research and data entry. For social media management, that is managing the social media, either you create posts or you basically check for viral videos na pwede mong gawin and such. Bookkeeping and invoicing. So these are the common VA task na kung ikaw ay mag-VA, if you wanted to work as a virtual assistant directly sa business owners, these are the things that you may want to check and learn muna. Kasi common po siya. So, these are the things na if you get hired, they will know na dapat alam mo. So, how about the industries? Ano ba yung mga industries na nag-hire ng VA sa Philippines? So, I have put real estate, healthcare, e-commerce, coaching, and consulting, tech startups. So, there's a lot more industries basically, but these are the most popular industries na nag-hire ng VA. So, for real estate, they actually need a lot. So kung galing ka sa call center, dito ka mostly babagsak. Real estate kasi, they needed more of cold callers. Normally, bibigyan kayo ng listahan ng mga pangalan ng properties. Then tatawagan mo sila if they wanted to sell their houses or their properties. So cold callers, that is one of the VA task or VA role na pwedeng maging sayo pag sa real estate ka. Another is transaction coordinator or coordination. So, I'm not sure if any one of you has experienced selling property sa Philippines or at least buying a property. So, kapag nakabili si real estate owner or si real estate agent ng or nakabenta siya ng property, kailangan niya pa na yung pagbibenta kasi is just like 40% of the job. The rest, yung property, yung mortgage, yung loan, yung from the bank, those kind of stuff. Ang gumagawa nun is yung transaction coordination, VA. Isa yun sa mga roles na talagang in demand when it comes to real estate. And hindi ko siya sinama sa common VA task kasi niche na siya. Niche na siya na type of VA. And I'll talk to that later on sa slide ko. For healthcare naman, they normally would require someone from front desk. Yung parang pag tumawag yung customer out of the blue kasi open daw yung hospital 24/7 o yung clinic, someone will answer them, someone will guide the patient, for example. That's for healthcare. Dito, karamihan ng mga VAs are supposed to be medical-related degrees yung meron sila. Mataas-taas ng country yung entry level kasi you need to have experience talaga when it comes to medical stuff. You need to learn the terms. Though may mga tao nakakapasa pa rin naman kahit na walang medical-related courses, the main problem is that, syempre pag nandun ka na, the difficulty is times 2. Kasi kung let's say, psychology student ka, dental student ka, you would have ideas already on some terms. So, they normally require coders, billing agents, or insurance verification. Yung parang, pag may nagpa-check up, ikaw yung mag-verify ng insurance niya to make sure na it's paid, something like that. So, that's for healthcare. For e-commerce, this is the largest and in-demand VA roles technically. Kasi sa e-commerce, this is for, let's say, Shopify. This is like for Amazon, for TikTok, for Shopee. Kasi normally, kailangan nila ng VA na magpa-process ng mga orders na yun sa back-end nila, or they would require a VA to make sure na lahat ng items na naka-display are displayed properly sa shopping center nila online. So for e-commerce, as you know, sino ba dito yung hindi nagsha-shop sa TikTok or sa Shopee everyday? As you know, you would see that. And for coaching, these are the fitness coaches, healthcare coaches na mostly makikita mo sa Instagram that would require someone to help them with their social media and stuff, as well as for tech startup. So let's go for the next slide. So, the evolution of virtual assistants. So, paano ba siya nag-start? So, yung concept of virtual assistants has evolved significantly over the past decades. This is driven by technological advancements and shifting work paradigms. So, 1990s. So, if you would notice, nag-start sa 1990s, early 2000s. So, as you know, this originated from corporate secretarial services transitioning to remote setups in the US and UK. Did that ring a bell? If nakapanood na kayo ng Devil Wears Prada or Ugly Betty, yung Betty LaFea, di ba trabaho nila is executive assistant? So, they technically is, I would say, assistant ng owner. Papabili ng kape, papa-research ng ganito, papagawa ng ganito, papakuha ng damit, papabook ng reservation. ang tawag dun, executive assistant. It's just that, early 2000s, nagkaroon kasi ng mga instances na parang, pwede ka naman mag-work from home if yung work style mo is not requiring you to be in the office. So, this actually started early 2000s. May mga corporate secretaries or people na kaya mo naman gawin yung trabaho basta may internet connection ka and may phones ka para masagot mo yung owner or if they have any request or utos sa'yo. So by 2008 to 2015, the rise of platforms like Upwork and Fiverr globalized VA services connecting clients with talent worldwide. So ito na yung nga yung start. Sa Philippines kasi we do have internet pero ako kasi nanggaling ako sa probinsya. 2008, first time ko gamit ng internet. And the first thing that I used it for was Friendster. So, imagine mo sa probinsya. Though sa Manila, of course, they do have internet connections na. Pero 2008 to 2015, dito talaga nag-start yung mga platforms. So, aside from Upworks and Fiverr, as you know, we have online jobs PH, we have remote talent PH. Ang dami na ngayong online platforms for jobs. What this do is that sila ngayon yung nag-connect sa mga clients in the US or other parts of the world with people na nasa Philippines or other countries na nagre-require ng assistance ng taong hindi naman kailangan nasa office. So, ito yung talagang start niya. By 2015 to 2019, there was a surge in outsourcing from small businesses and entrepreneurs who needed support but couldn't afford full-time staff. Aminin man natin o hindi, mas mura kasi talaga pag nag-outsource. So, for example, kapag nasa isang state ka sa US, normally, ang bayad sa per hour ng in-house, when we say in-house, is yung tao mismo sa opisina. If you, normally, ang bayad doon would be around $25 per hour. Pero, if they outsource it sa countries like Philippines, normally, they can pay $10. Actually, meron nga nagbabayad ng $5, which is super low ball. Pero, by 2015 to 2019, dito talaga nag-surge yung mga request. Lahat ng VA agency naman nag-start dito nagkaroon ng outsourcing, nakita ng mga tao sa ibang bansa yung business opportunity. So, nag-outsource sila na nag-create sila ng agencies wherein they hire VAs na i-match nila sa clients sa ibang bansa. So, by 2020 onwards, when COVID-19 accelerated demand, the Philippines, India, and Eastern Europe emerged as global VA hubs, shift towards niche VA services like SEO and transaction coordination. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. We started providing basic VA services. Pero nung nangyari kasi yung COVID, hindi lang iilang kumpanya yung nag-require ng virtual assistant. Halos karamihan nag-require ng virtual assistants. Ang problema, hindi naman nila kailangan ng basic VA na task. Mas gusto nila yung mga niche. When we say niche, this is related na doon sa type of industry nila. So when I say transaction coordination, niche na siya ng real estate. If before, siguro if I'm a real estate owner or a realtor, nag-hire ako ng VA or executive VA just to check my calendar, check my email para to let me know if meron akong meetings, ganito. When COVID started, kailangan ko na rin ng tao na gagawa ng transaction coordination, someone who can work with me in making sure that the papers after I close a deal is processed. Doon na pumasok yung mga transaction coordination na VA. Hindi na siya gumagawa ng calendars, hindi na siya gumagawa ng email, but just transaction coordination. So ito na yung mga niche na VAs. At ito yung evolution. At up until now, 2025, halos dumami talaga yung VAs natin, lalo na sa Philippines. In fact, aside from Upwork and Fiverr and Talent Nomad, Online Jobs PH is the number one provider of VAs sa ibang bansa. Ganon kagaling yung Pilipinas kasi we were able to really emerge as one of the global VAs provider. And what exactly is the driving forces behind the VA boom? So there were several key factors. So first is yung global digital transformation. So we have Gmail, we have Zoom, web CRMs that really made remote work seamless and efficient. Naalala ko pa way back 2020, first time ko mag-download ng Zoom kasi kailangan kong makipag-usap sa TL ko during our coaching. Hindi ko talaga alam kung para saan yung Zoom. And this is the start of video conferencing. Ang sikat lang kasi dati is FaceTime for iPhone, tapos sa Messenger sa Facebook yung video call. Pero dati mahal pa nga yun eh. Pero dahil sa Zoom, sa Gmail, sa Gmeet, yung mga CRM, this digital transformations or cloud tools actually help magkaroon talaga ng remote work at maging mabisa. Hindi lang siya yung parang remote work for now. And another thing is cost efficiency for employers. So imagine, they're getting paid $25 per hour pag kumuha sila ng in-house. Aside from that, they would normally pay for the lunch, allowances, food allowances, clothing allowances, travel allowances. Pero dito, they get to hire someone with the same skills, college graduate pa ha, for $5 to $10 per hour. So that's like almost half of what they're paying, or even 60 for it's not even half. Like they only have to pay 40% of what they normally pay. Tapos nakukuha nila yung the same service. And this is the reason why one of the driving force kaya nag-boom yung is the cost efficiency. And the third one is of course the pandemic shift. Again, because of the pandemic, ang dami talaga yung parang ano siya eh, alam yung na-halt yung lahat nangyayari sa buong mundo, pero lahat naging online. Kaya nga sumikat at ang daming naging delivery rider that time eh, kasi talagang apps talaga when you needed food, etc. Talagang yun ang nangyayari. And another is yung emergence ng online businesses. So, ang daming naging coach, naging e-commerce sellers, digital marketers, at kung ano-ano pa. Sino ba yung hindi makakaintindi ng affiliate marketing sa TikTok? Yung parang, yung napapanood mo sa Jessica Soho na umabot ng 1 million yung commission niya just because he's doing a lot of videos about the products na binibili niya at nire-resell niya. Yung Rocket PH na makikita mo ang daming gumagawa ng online courses kung paano daw mag-create ng, let's say, cartoons na pwede mong ibenta, yung Etsy, those kind of stuff. Ito talaga yung nag-drive kung bakit lumakas yung VA. Imaginein mo, ang dami na ring Pilipino na nag-hire ng Filipino VA din kasi ang laki na ng online business nila. Yung parang, imbes na pumunta sila sa bansa, nag-hire na lang sila ng online para for order taking. I know a lot. Actually, pag pumunta ka ng TikTok, ang dami na VA na nag-online while they're doing their job, doing Lazada and Shopee order taking. Yung mga ganon. And that actually helped na mag-boom yung VA business. So, ano yung advantages and disadvantages though ng pagiging VA? So, here are the upsides. Work from home. So, eliminate commute, enjoy work-life balance. Flexible hours, dollar yung income mo, skill growth, and freelance free. So, let's start from work from home. July na ngayon. So, as you know, every day, halos umuulan. And hindi lang siya ulan, malakas na ulan. And if you're working from home, you technically eliminate the time or the chance na mag-commute ka pa. Yung makipagsiksikan ka pa at makiamoy ka pa sa amoy kulob ng mga damit na kasamahan mo sa sasakyan. You basically enjoy working from home. And flexible hours siya. When I was working as a call center agent or sa team leader, galing ako ng Caloocan, I would normally use or ride yung sapang palay na bus, yung sinasabi nilang lumilipad na bus sa EDSA or sa Commonwealth papuntang Makati. It would normally take 2 hours from Caloocan, Malaria part sa may Tungko, going to Makati. That's like 2 hours. One way lang yon. Then, 2 hours ulit pa uwi. And sometimes it may take 2.5 or even 3 hours kapag sobrang traffic. In my case though, wala masyadong traffic kasi pag pauwi ako sa umaga, mas madami yung papasok. At pag papasok naman ako sa gabi, mas madami yung pauwi. So, yung north and southbound, at least hindi ako ganun ka-traffic. But it still takes 2 hours sa biyahe ko. So, that's 4 hours back and forth. I work 9 hours, including the lunch time. So, that's 13 hours. Sa 24 hours, I would only have 11 hours to myself. Sa 11 hours na yun, I would have to play ML or siguro do something else, and I would have, let's say, 8 hours left. And if I sleep, hindi ka naman agad-agad makakatulog kasi ang init-init sa Pilipinas if you don't have aircon, or sometimes may nagvi-video okay sa kabilang bahay without really thinking na nagpapahinga ka na. So you only get to sleep, let's say, 6 hours. Pero kapag nasa office ka, sa office bahay mo, I start work 9, let's say 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Pag out ko ng 6 a.m., I would do exercise, let's say by 7, tutulog na ako 7 a.m. Nagigising ako, let's say, ng 4 p.m. So, that's a lot na. That's like 9 hours already. Pero hindi pa ako shift time kasi 4 p.m. So, this is one of the upsides kapag nasa bahay ka. And yes, dollar yung income mo din pala. It often significantly higher than local salaries. Bakit? Kasi kung mataas yung dollar rate, mas mataas yung sahod mo. So let's say sumasahod ka ng $600 per month. So $600 times 55. And there are instances na the dollar becomes like $1 is 57 or 58. So that's like 3 pesos times 600. So that's like 1/8 already. So yun ang isa sa mga upside. Skill growth, continuous learning and professional development. Since you talk and work directly with your clients, ang dami mong natututunan. You become a business owner yourself. Kasi nakikita mo yung process eh. At the same time, because you have a lot of time left after your 8-hour work, you have a lot of time to really learn, watch more videos, skill yourself up, and develop your skill set. At yun ang ginagawa ko actually. When I started September, October, up until now, I allot my Saturday as my skill up day. Hindi naman siya nangyayari na every Saturday it's a different skill. I would normally do one skill up Saturday. Pag hindi ko siya natapos, I will continue it the next Saturday. This basically make sure na talagang lagi akong updated. Kasi yung mga skills mo, let's say sa transaction coordination, hindi naman ibig sabihin yan, that's it lang. It would help and it would need you to make sure na you are aware of the updates at the same. So let's talk about the challenges. So for the challenges, most VA jobs kasi don't have government benefits. So unless mag-self-manage ka or through an agency, pero hindi rin lahat ng agency kasi nagbibigay ng government benefits. Let's say for example, taxes or SSS or pag-ibig. So you really have to make sure na you manage those kasi those are the things na you need. Kailangan, lagi ka, hindi ka naman pwede kasi mag-work ng walang tax or SSS or pag-ibig. Bakit ka pa naging Pilipino? Another thing is that there's no job security. So, since project-based or short-term engagement is common kasi pagdating sa VA job. So, you might have a client right now, kailangan, let's say, nila ng social media management, kailangan nila magpadami ng followers, magpadami ng like, they wanted to be seen by a lot of people para malaman ng tao yung business nila. That can take, let's say, 4 or 5 months. Pag 5 months na kasi, if they do have the actual traffic na they're getting, minsan, tatapusin nila yung kontrata nila sa'yo. And basically, kailangan mo maghanap ulit ng client. So, you cannot be parang stuck with one client lang talaga. And this is the reason it's important for you to skill up and develop your skills lagi. Para pag wala ka ng client, when you get another client, it will be much easier for you kasi you already have the experience, plus you have the skills that's necessary. Another thing, the challenge is potential for isolation. So I was a change leader nung nasa call center ako. Change leader means coach ka ng mga TLs and ng manager. So from there, you would know, I talk a lot. I actually talk a lot. And nag-start ako, mahirap siya kasi first month ko, I have this agent na I normally would call using Messenger. Tapos mag-uusap lang kami, naka-speaker lang siya while I work. Kasi parang wala ka talaga nakausap. If you would notice, mag-isa lang ako dito. I have my sister's office there. Pero, nag-decide siya sa labas siya mag-opisina. So, potential talaga for isolation. So, if you're not an introvert, mahirap talaga siya. Pero get used to it. Kasi, sa company naman ng work mo, you get to talk to your client. It may not be something na you talk to every day, pero you'll talk to, and you have to really do something else. And this is the reason why karamihan na pinapanood ko sa TikTok, yung mga VA doon, they would normally play lo-fi girl or music or even play, let's say, Korean TV series sa other PC nila para lang may nagsasalita. Kasi I got to that point then, I just really want to have something sa background ko na nagsasalita while I'm working. Kasi yung work ko, it's not required me to talk. Fifth and last part, difficult clients. So, I've experienced this. I have a client who hired me as a Google Ads manager. I was able to deliver the results that they want. Nakaka-create ako ng leads. I actually create more than 20 to 30 leads a week. Pero dahil pangit yung terms nila, mas mahal sila sa competition, dumating yung point na hindi ganun talaga parang hindi nila nila ako close. So, you would have clients na will tell you na it's your fault, or you would have clients na mahirap din kausap, mahirap ma-reach out, yung parang nag-message ka na, it will take 2 days for them to answer, so yung task mo, napuput on hold. You would have that kind of clients, and that's just part of the job. Actually, sa call center, we have people we call client services manager. Ito yung mga hindi siya operations manager kasi hindi siya part ng operations, pero they're like contact of the operations to the client. If may requirement or request the operations to the client, si CSM yung nagsasalita or nakikipag-usap sa client mismo. So, I have experience like, I mean, it's just normal. You get used to it kasi you're definitely talking to a client directly. So, these are the challenges as well as the advantages of being a VP. So, there's a lot more, pero ito talaga yung pinaka-advantage and disadvantages niya. And guys, aside from looking into the advantages, I really want you to look into the challenges talaga. Kasi itong challenges, it may just be 5, but there are a lot more. Pero when you start as a VA, ito talaga yon. Sa company kasi sa call center, there are call centers that would provide day 1 HMO. Pero dito talaga, they don't provide HMO unless 6 months ka na. May mga agencies that would provide HMO 3 months. Pero again, they don't provide government benefits. So sometimes, malaki yung bayad sa'yo. So you have to do it yourself or manually. Ikaw talaga magbabayad ng yourself. So, always think, kaya mo ba yung challenges na to? Pag na-checkmark mo siya, then goods. Pag hindi, then you better get ready first kasi working as a VA is no joke. So, we will discuss next is beyond the hype. Ano ba talaga yung realidad ng pagiging VA? So, first is, guaranteed jobs are not a given. So, just like what I said kanina, success hinges on individual effort, adaptability, and niche specialization and not just a certification. So, kung bumili ka ng course at binigay nila sa'yo is, this is to certify that Mark Jimena has completed this VA course and ready for him to take on the world? No. Hindi po siya realidad. Hindi po guaranteed na magkaroon ka ng trabaho unless yung skills mo is a niche specialization. So meaning, kung yung pinagtrainingan mo or yung skill set na training mo is something that is needed. Yung parang, pag nagpa-apply ako, konti lang yung mag-a-apply kasi konti lang yung master sa ganitong skills. You would have a lot and much bigger chance to get out. So, hindi po guaranteed yung jobs na ito. Second, training expectation. So, training provided can often mean unpaid trial periods or relying on self-learning and demanding proactivity. So, madami yung agencies na nagbibigay ng training. Madami yung nagbibigay ng bayad yung training. May mga agencies na naman na hindi nagbabayad ng trainings nila. These trainings can actually help you just really gauge pang VA ba ako at para malaman mo talaga kung kaya mo siya. Pero hindi ibig sabihin yun na pag nag-training ka, after the training, magaling ka na agad. Hindi po ganon. Kasi pag nag-training ka, you still have to make sure na you have experience and syempre, you have to make sure na you use whatever you got trained for. Hindi po ito yung katulad ng iba pag sinasabi nila, trained naman ako kasi I actually went to Facebook kanina lang, bago ako mag-start ng segment na to, nagsabi siya ng 4 months na daw siya na-train, pero hanggang ngayon, wala pa din siyang client. Ang dami nag-comment, I think that's in remote PH na Facebook page. Ang dami nag-comment, nagbigay sila ng mga agencies. But for me, It's not about the agency eh. It's about you. Kasi kung 4 months ka na doon, bakit hanggang ngayon hindi ka pa nagkaka-client? Kasi for my experience, and I've been to one of the best agency actually. 2 weeks lang yung training nila. Pero during my first week, nakapasa ako agad. They didn't want me to wait for my second week. Pinasa ko agad nila, graduate ako 1 week. Kasi I have the skills and the foundation from my BPO years. After that, nung nakapasa ako, pwede na ako magkaroon ng client match-up, client interview. Sa interview, you would normally have, let's say, other competitors. And you have to realize, either you're competing with someone who already got a client before, at nawala lang, or a newbie. So, kahit nag-training ka, it doesn't mean na ipaprioritize ka ng agency. You have to realize that. And ito nga nangyari. After one try, I already got a client. Pero those competitors na I was with, iba sa kanila, 3 interviews na hindi pa rin sila pumasa. So after the training, I suggest you do your due diligence. Aralin mo pa yung pinag-aralan mo. Look into YouTube University, Coursera, any types of courses na pwede mo i-check. Ag-aralan mo pa kung ano yung naituro sa'yo para when you get hired or when you get into the interview, you would have more experience in telling them exactly what you can do. In fact, you can even create your own sandbox eh. Kasi may tinuro na sa'yo. You have already the foundation of the skills. Kailangan mo lang siyang matest. So, that's one of the things. Ang dami-dami kasi sa akin nagsasabi na training naman ako, hindi naman nakapasa. So, I commented and I said, check yourself. Saan ka ba ng skill level na after the training? Bakit 4 months na wala ka pa rin account or wala ka pa rin client? Again, I'm not saying it might be the agent's fault, pero agent and agencies work together. So, kung wala ka pa rin client, check mo yung sarili mo. Pag okay naman lahat, then check with your agency. Kasi baka mamaya yun yung issue. Third, agency commission. So, pag nasa agency ka, agencies would really take significant percentage of the salary impacting your net income. And this is given. Guys, ang dami kong nakikita nagreklamo. So, sabihin nila, yung agency ko, nag-hire sila ng clients for $15, tapos binibigyan lang sa amin $8. Guys, you have to understand, business is business. Hindi naman porke may binigyan client, kung ano binayad ng client, babayad sa'yo. Hindi ka in the first place, hindi ikaw yung nagbayad ng marketing ng agency to get clients. Plus, they have to pay trainers to teach you. They have to pay people na hindi nagkakaroon ng client, pero support siya, part siya ng support ng company. You always have to realize that hindi lahat ng bayad ng client dapat diretso sa'yo. May mga expenses. So for example, ang McDo, and I just like McDo. If they sell you the 99 pesos one-piece chicken and rice, hindi naman ibig sabihin yung profit, let's say, yung isang piraso ng chicken, you can actually buy that, let's say, 30. Yung sa mga prito-prito sa labas, 30 or 35. Then kanin for 10 pesos. So that's 45. Bakit 99 sa kanila? Bakit parang 55 pesos more sila? That's because kailangan nilang bumili ng chicken. Kailangan nila magbayad ng transport nun. Kailangan nila magbayad ng magpiprito nun. Kailangan nila ng bayad ng magtitake ng orders mo. Hindi naman yung katulad ng sa labas na makakakita ka ng tindero, may piniprito siya, na pwede ka nalang kumuha. Okay? So there's always expenses. I'm not saying this to defend agencies, pero business requires money para mag-run siya. Okay? Hindi lang dapat lagi sa'yo. So if you are going to choose an agency, the best thing you can do is you look into align ba yung core values nila instead sa core values mo. Is the community the best community na you want? Tapos, go for that sahod. Okay? Pero for me, agencies are the best kasi they look for clients for you na. All you have to do is make sure na you're ready and that you really deliver para ikaw yung makinig. Fourth is client relationship management. So, difficult client exists. Setting clear boundaries and having robust contracts are crucial for healthy working relationship. Ito na nga, lahat ng agents or VAs, you work directly sa client. However, pag may issue ka, normally you don't discuss that to your client directly. You would have what you call a client services or client relationship manager. Sila yung nakikipag-usap iyo pag nasa agency ka. And this is one of the people or this is one of the expenses na hina-handle ng company. Kasi they don't have clients eh. They handle you as the VA. So pag reklamo ka, you say it to your CSM for example or CRM, then si CRM siya yung bibigay nun sa client as feedback. Kasi syempre, hindi naman pwedeng directly tayo kasi when we say things direct, sometimes it's not objective. Naging subjective tayo, especially if it includes salary natin, yung mga ganun. At the same time, yung CRM natin, sila din yung nasasabi natin if we get bonuses, if merong commendation si client, mga ganun. Unless freelancer ka na hindi ka nag-work sa agency, you don't require CRM kasi you don't need the client direct. Pero I guess you have seen some post sa online, sa social media about people na hindi binayaran. I actually saw one na hindi siya binayaran ng $900 for a work worth of like 2 months for cold calling. Wala siyang habol. So, what the VA did is parang nagbigay siya ng pangit na feedback dun sa client kung saan-saan, parang pinost siya kung saan-saan, and the client had to pay the VA for the VA to stop. It's not really a good way of ending the relationship, pero this is the reasons why maganda pag may agency ka kasi technically they cover that. Pag freelancer ka, you really have to make sure that you are aware of the details when it comes to your client. Dapat may kontrata ka, dapat nagbabayad muna sila at least half bago mag-start. So at least whatever you do, you already got paid for half. Mga ganun. So these are the realities. Ang daming VAs na tinatakbuhan ng client, especially freelancers. Ang dami na naloloko na VA kasi they don't have contracts. Kasi as a VA, when you're looking for a job, you just have, the main goal is to get hired. Pero hindi mo alam is, baka lokohin ka. So, there are a lot of VA courses and madami rin actually VA content creator nagsasabi, hindi ka lagi ng 50% payout. Sa first day mo, dapat bayad ka na ng 50% and the rest is 50% after perhaps 2 weeks or 3 weeks once you're almost done with the task. The reason for it is to safeguard din kasi napapagod ka. You have bills to pay, electricity to pay, tapos hindi ka naman nababayaran. Pero realidad po to ng VA. Kapag wala kang agency and freelancer ka at hindi ka talaga maano kasi ayaw mag-request. Kasi when I started and I got hired for as a Google Ads manager dun sa travel agency, nahiya talaga akong humingi ng bayad. Kasi the first few interviews that I had, nagsabi talaga ako na I wanted 50% of the payment outright. Tapos the rest is after the taxes that. And hindi ako na-hire sa mga ganun. So when I got hired, hindi talaga ako naghingi. Nahiya ako. Ang ending, usapan namin was around $600 per month. And that's freelance. I just had to work for 2 to 3 hours a day. Tapos, during the first week, sabi ko, ba't wala pang bayad? Kasi ang sabi, 600 per month, pero it will be paid like every week. So, dumating na, nung sinabi na, nung first week, wala pang sahod, we asked for why. The next week, binayaran kami, pero we only got paid for $100. Ang sabi, we don't have contract house, and since hindi ganun kaganda yung stats, it will be $400 per month, which would be $100 per week. Ay, nakaka-stress lang kasi when you work, you basically have a goal. You have things to pay. Food, orders, TikTok, pay later. Yung mga mahilig sa Shopee and TikTok. Tapos, pagbayaran na or hindi naman nakukuha yung tamang sahod. And that's really very, very hard to accept. Pero wala akong magagawa kasi we did not draft a contract kasi nga we were working with a Filipina executive assistant. Siya yung parang kausap namin when it comes to work. I even tried sending all of the screenshots that I have about the conversation na meron kami saying that it was $600 per month. Pero they just insisted na if they don't want or if we don't want the $100 that they're sending every week or if you don't want the $400 per week, then they're gonna get someone else. Mahirap siyang lunukin, pero nagawa ko na yung trabaho, so I just have to accept it. Pero tinapos ko lang yung work ko for 1 month and I did not renew, even though I was one of the best Google Ads that really gets them leads. Kasi wala eh. If they're not gonna like make the if hindi nila ibibigay yung pinag-usapan namin, then that means pwede pa siyang bumaba or pwede pa ako ma-exploit. And a lot of VAs get exploited like that. So, hindi lang yung VA job or nasa bahay ka na wala ka ng worries. A lot of things you really have to be worried about actually. Other than that, let's discuss ito na, essential skills for aspiring VAs. So if you wanted to succeed as a virtual assistant, it's actually a blend of foundational and specialized skills na kailangan mo. So, syempre, English communication. So, you have to have excellent verbal and written proficiency. A lot of companies would ask you to take the English proficiency test. Meron tayong test from, I think we have from B1, B2 up until A1 and A2 yung proficiency, meaning fluent ka na. And a lot of companies require this kasi English communication, if we can't communicate properly, then nagkakaroon ng misunderstanding, especially when it comes to giving out tasks. You have to understand that you're working remote. So, pag remotely, you don't really talk to the person mukha sa mukha. So, parang hindi mo malaman ano ba yung facial expression niya. Ito actually explain. Parang we can't assume things. So, English communication is one of the foundational keys. And sa Pilipinas naman, wala namang issue may ganyan. Kasi we are, our English communication is always high. Nasa top 10 naman tayo when it comes to typing and accuracy. So, hindi naman to masyadong chine-check, pero it's best of course kasi if you get the job as a data entry and research, typing and accuracy is the best. Kung hindi ka magaling or mabilis mag-type, then pag nagta-type ka is yung isa-isa, then you would have a lot of issues when it comes to data entry kasi nag-enter ka ng data and you really have to type a lot. Admin organization. So, meticulous attention to detail. So, this is something that you can that is required if you wanted to be email manager, calendar manager, actually kahit saan. So for me, as a digital marketing specialist, whenever I create something, I have to make sure that nasa-check ko lahat. Kasi hindi pwedeng pag pinasa mo na siya, tapos may napad sila, saka mo sasabihin na, okay, mali, sige, update ko po. It may work once or twice, pero hindi kasi pwedeng may napapansin lagi yung boss mo, mali yung spelling mo sa ganito, mali yung grammar mo sa ganito. So, you really have to work on that. In fact, on my end, I installed Grammarly para pag nag-create ako ng sentences, tapos may mali siya, for example, kinokorek siya agad. Kasi even though English communication is good for me, hindi naman kasi lahat magaling when it comes to writing. I can write a lot, pero ang dami na nating Philippinism na we call Philippinism. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Philippinism is technically like parang tinatranslate natin yung Tagalog to English, then we put it as is. Pero yung placing pala ng mga words is mali. Another thing, tech savvy. So if you're familiar with some tools like Google Workspace, Microsoft Office, G Suite, then best ka dito. Again, foundational siya. Lahat halos ng applications would require you to be proficient with Asana, ClickUp, mga ganon. So before you apply, and if you see that as part of, let's say, job requirements, either you learn it individually, kasi hindi na yun masyadong tinuturo sa courses especially sa agencies, kasi that's something that you have to learn on your own. Kung paano ba yung Trello, paano ba yung Notion, how do they work? So ikaw na yung bahala doon. And learning about them and knowing them is advantageous na rin naman sa'yo. Kasi at the end of the day, when you get a client who is using that specific platform, alam mo na, hindi ka naman sa-start from scratch. And this is the reason why you have to have at least a skill update on your weekday para alam mo at nag-improve ka lang. Fifth, time management. So since nag-work tayo sa bahay, sometimes hindi talaga siya laging masaya. I got like a quote last time. It says, you will never always be motivated. You have to learn to be disciplined. So, hindi lahat kasi laging motivated ka. And pag nasa bahay ka kasi, one of the struggles is that nandyan yung family mo, maingay sila. Sometimes, bigla na lang silang pupunta sa office mo to, kakain ka na po, ganyan. Ang daming distractions. And time management is one of the basic skills that you really have to learn para alam mo kung ano yung prioritize mo, mamimit mo yung deadline even with a lot of distractions. Do not procrastinate. Yung parang nakastart ka ng shift ko, I still have 8 hours left before submit this. Kasi that's gonna take a lot for you to work on kapag ilang hours na. So these basic general VA skills are the top things na you really needed to have para matuto ka at maging VA ka. Of course, may mga tinatawag tayong in-demand niche or skills. Ito na siya. And this is technically what gets you paid more. So, social media management, hindi mo actually kailangan maging VA eh. Pwede ka maging social media manager. It's a job. Ang expertise mo is in platform scheduling tools and content creation. Yung parang, kung ako may negosyo, i-advertise mo ako online sa social media. Ikaw gagawa ng mga static post ko, ng graphics ko, using my brand pillars and my unique value proposition. Yung mga ganun. So, social media management, one of the in-demand skills. Kasi, as you know, kinakain na tayo ng social media. Hindi na lang siya yung parang dati na if you have Facebook, you only do that kasi you want to talk to your friends or to the people that you know. Ngayon, it is something that's being used na for advertisement. Halos lahat ng binibentang pagkain nandun na, clothes, appliances. So social media management is one of the in-demand niche skills. So I would suggest for you to really hone that kind of skill. Second is graphic design. Actually, sa kahit anong job mo, graphic design is something that you really need to learn, kahit yung basic. If you know how to use Canva, Photoshop, Adobe, Elementor, for example, you do have a lot of things that you can do. If you're offering a basic BA job, let's say calendar management, you can actually ask your boss if they want to do graphic design. You can get another pay for that. But we do have a lot of work as a graphic designer. You don't need calls, you don't need to chat, you don't need to check emails. Graphic design sa talaga. Kung ikaw yung taong may eye talaga for designs and for details, this is best for you. SEO and content writing. Ito na. This is one of the things that I've learned first talaga when I started. Kasi if you wanted to be a Google Ads manager, you needed to know on how to create captions na talagang makakakuha ng attention. And this is one of the things that I do. So if you do content writing and blog writing for a business, you really need to know how SEO works. Kasi pag nagpunta ka ng Google, if they search for the business of the client that you have, you want it to be the first one to be shown. And that is done by SEO. We have video editing, we have bookkeeping, and CRM management. So, ang dami ng in-demand niche. If I were you, if you wanted to be a VA, make sure that all of these general VA skills first are checked. Dapat alam mo siya. Then, look for the niche that you wanted to work on. Either real estate, healthcare, e-commerce. Tapos, check mo, pag nandun ka na sa industry na yun, anong specific part ng industry na yun do you want? Do you want to work on social media? Do you want to work on paid ads? Do you want to work on SEO? Ito is mga in-demand niche na siya. When we say in-demand niche, ito na yung mga skills na talagang binabayaran nila mga. A basic VA gets paid, let's say, $500 or $600 per month. Pero, if you're a social media manager, you can even get paid $700 or $800 per month. If you are an SEO or a paid ads, it can get as high as $1,000 per month or even $1,500. So that's like more than $100,000, 100,000 pesos already. If you get paid $1,000, that's 100,000 pesos. And this is the truth behind bakit may mga taong nakakakuha ng 6 digits. It's not simple, it's not gonna be easy, but it's there. So if you are an aspiring VA, start with that first. Start with the basic skills, then learn the in-demand skills na yan. Kasi we're only in 2025, pero yung VA, it keeps on booming. Hindi siya na. I guess, so this is technically the VA salary and career growth that I did. So if you would notice, if you're a beginner general VA, your salary is like here. So the hourly rate is, let's say, $4. Kasi beginner ka and general admin yung ginagawa ko. But if you're intermediate is niche or experience, let's say transaction coordination or property management sa real estate, you can get paid $8 per hour. So that's almost doubled if you're a general admin or a beginner. So if you're an advanced or a specialist VA, you can even get paid $15 per hour. So $15 per hour is actually very big. So for example, you're getting paid $15 per hour times 8 in a day. You're getting paid $120 per day. So times you actually work, let's say, 10 days in a week. So 120 times 10 days, so that's a total of $1,200 in one cut off. So right now, PHP to USD to PHP is 56. So in one cut off, you get paid $67. I mean, sorry, 67,000 pesos. And multiply that by 2 for 2 cut offs. If you are a specialist or advanced VA, you can get a total of 134,000 pesos per month. That is basically how much you can earn if you are an advanced or a specialist. Ano ba yung specialist VA na I said? These are the VAs na talagang specialized sa isang specific niche. So, let's say paid ads ka lang. Ads lang talaga ginagawa mo. Then, you don't do anything, you don't branch out to another type of task. Ads lang talaga. You hone your skills. You're a master when it comes to ads. Yung gumagawa ng ads sa YouTube, yung nakikita nyo pag dumadaan yung video ko, for example, biglang nagpo-pause, that's basically it. And, eto siya. So, factors such as niche, skills, experience, direct line relationships versus agency placements. So, career path and growth opportunities. Pag specialization kasi, you can transition from a general VA, let's say for example, from SMM to real estate to bookkeeping. And from leadership role, you can become a team leader, a project manager, or even a VA coach. So, ito yung mga career growth and opportunities. I think it's getting opportunities. There. And so for the passive income, you can even create your own digital products, your courses, and your tools. Ang daming career opportunities when it comes to being a VA. So ano yung mga tips na pwede kong ibigay sa'yo so you can be successful? Kasi we've discussed VAs, we've discussed the history, bakit siya nag-boom, the basic skills. Ano ba yung tips for success natin? So first, build a portfolio, even with mock tasks, to showcase your abilities. So, kung graphic designer ang gusto mo, gawa ka lang ng design. Tapos, kasi ang mangyayari, when I started with graphic design sa Canva, I only started with like changing the colors, changing the font. Habang tumatagal, I'm technically removing all of the templates already and I'm doing it myself. So, gawa ka ng mga ganon. Then save it. Makikita mo kasi yung changes and improvements mo over time. Second, join freelancing platforms like Online Jobs, Upwork, and Fiverr. So if you join freelancing platform, doesn't mean naman magkakaroon ka agad ng work. Pero it will open up a lot because you will see all of the job opportunities, the pay that they're providing. You would see the competition. So from there, you would be able to at least really work. Ano ba yung kailangan kong gawin to stand out? Then, learn new tools. Ang daming tutorials sa YouTube. Again, as I said, budget-friendly courses. In fact, I'm already a digital marketing expert, pero I even bought a course sa Coursera. It's around 159 pesos. It's about different types of email marketing. Para lang mag-skill up ako. So, you always have to learn. You always have to invest para yung skills mo goes up and up. Then, develop a strong online presence and strong LinkedIn interview. Create a page. Gawa ka ng Facebook page. Tapos doon ka mag-post ng mga ginagawa. Like, how you do this, kung paano ka gumawa ng campaign, for example, how do you do your designing. Post ka lang, kahit walang manood yan. Kasi all afterwards, meron manonood yan. In fact, when I started as Google Ads Manager, I started answering questions sa isang Google Ads group. Madami kasi nagpo-post ng mga issues nila. People na who can't pay for a Google Ads Manager that wanted, let's say, free comments or at least free insights. So, bigyan lang ako ng bigyan ng insights ko. And at the same time, I'm reading a lot of the insights that's available. Kasi from there, I'm learning more. Okay, ganito pala siya. Okay, ganito pala yung LSA, yung mga ganito, ganyan. And from there, I learn more. Ngayon, whenever I answer a question, I also try to check ano yung magiging answer ng iba. It will help me compare, okay, saan na ba yung knowledge level? So, develop a strong online presence. In fact, I got 4 or 5 interviews from that page alone, and I got hired from one of them before. So, it's really something that would help you. After that, magkakaroon ka na ng referrals. Then, pinakahuli, and this is something na you shouldn't forget as my tip, always be vigilant against scams. Never pay to get hired by an unknown entity. I understand that it will be hard for you to ask for half of the payment first kasi nahiya ka, it's your first job. Okay, I understand that. Pero, if the company is too good to be true, be vigilant. Okay? Ang daming nagsasabi dyan na, ito yung gagawin mo, pakigawa muna to bago namin malaman na ikaw yung hire namin. If they wanted you to do audit of the website, audit of the social media page, you can do that. Pero if they are giving you, let's say, a task already, and the task is a lot, para lang ma-check nila if kaya mong gawin, tapos para i-hire ka nila, no. That's just them trying to get free service. So always know, ang daming nag-request or ang daming nag-hire. Don't be, don't think na parang, ito na yun eh, kailangan ko na siyang i-push. No. Always know your worth. Okay? So yun lang naman. Then again, don't forget, ang pinakahuli is mag-subscribe ka and mag-like ka ng page ko and comment what you learned. Kasi I really wanted to talk to you more. This is my first video. I just really wanted to discuss what a VA is. Pero the next videos that we have, we will be talking more about skills. So I will discuss to you the skill set that I have, what I did to learn them, paano ko siya natutunan, tapos paano ko siya in-improve, bakit nagkakaroon ako ng offers of 6 digits basically, and where I am right now. So, I wanted to share that, pero I wanted for you to know first, para sa'yo ba yun? And, if para siya sa'yo, and if you wanna be aspiring VA, ano ba yung skill sets and foundation na makailangan? So, I hope I was able to give that. It's been more than an hour. It's actually almost an hour and a half. I'm just happy if you're still here. I'm happy that you stayed. And comment down below your questions so I can answer them. Thank you so much again. Thank you for staying. And yeah, this is again your Shiel Rola. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.